What's hiding underneath things can be scary. Underwater, under your bed, especially what's under your carpet. Except when you get new carpet from Carpet One Floor and Home. After tearing up your old carpet, they'll vacuum and apply Health Annex antimicrobial to your subfloor, disinfecting and killing mold, mildew, and any remaining general awfulness. Carpet One Floor and Home goes the extra mile to protect you, your family, and your home. Carpet One Floor and Home in Columbia, making your home beautiful, guaranteed.
Good morning and welcome to Radio Friends on Tuesday, August the 31st. Hard to believe that this is the end of August 2021. Well, you know, we'll be saying Happy New Year. But anyway, this is back to school time for a lot of people. And we have Dr. Philip Batson and Dr. Elizabeth Abe with us from Columbia Healthy Smiles, husband and wife dental team. Good to have both of you here.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
You wanted to touch today on back to school for kids, because a lot of times when they go back to school, dental habits change that they have been living with through most of their life.
That's right. Yeah. And so this time of year, you know, coming off of summer, sometimes things are a little more relaxed in the summer. You know, we're staying up later. You're maybe more the diet maybe not as good as the people are playing more, and you know, you get back into that school routine. And so sometimes we just emphasize kind of reevaluate your oral health habits and just make sure if things were slacking a little bit over summertime when things felt a little more relaxed, as they get back into that back to school routine of a more rigid schedule, you know, just make sure that brushing 2 times a day for 2 minutes each time, floss nightly, and just kind of getting back in setting those good habits, good routines as they kind of get into that back to school habit with, you know, homework and extracurricular activities, all the things that kind of keep them on schedule.
Now, you said brushing 2 times. I thought it was best to brush 3 times a day after every meal.
Well, that doesn't hurt. Absolutely. If you have the ability to brush after every meal, if you keep a toothbrush with you, you know, in your purse and your desk at work. A lot of people are working from home still, so that creates a lot of ease to brush after every meal, potentially, and that can just go and clean off the sugars and the food that may have been on there after the meal.
Okay, let's break this down into 2 categories. First of all, the young kids that are going to school for the first time. They haven't been away from home. They're in either kindergarten or the first grade. What is the message you need to get across to parents about good dental health for those kids?
I think since they're in a new routine, a lot of times kids struggle with getting up in the morning, and so just making sure you're still getting up and making sure you're brushing your teeth in the morning, and if they're more tired at the end of the day, just still establishing that care at the end of the night before they go to bed.
Right. Now, Philip, you were telling me that you have some kids that you've been seeing for 6 or 7 years. They haven't had a cavity in their mouth, and then they graduate from high school, they go away to college, and they come back and they open their mouth and you say, oops, you got some cavities there. What happened? Why is that prevalent?
It is something we see, and a lot of times it is when those kids go off to, and young adults, they head off to college and they have some of that first bit of freedom. They maybe don't always have a parent telling them, reminding them to brush, at night. They are up later. They have a lot of access to, the energy drinks and the sugary sodas and things, and their late night studying, and maybe just those good habits they had built in. They just they get a little bit lax on when they go off to school and are out of the house and have some of that freedom. And so we have seen it. They'll come back, a year and a half later. The home care has gone downhill, and we see some cavities in people for the first time. And so we always kind of preach to our soon-to-be high school seniors and the ones who are about to graduate of, stay in that good routine. You've done well your whole, childhood. As you kind of graduate into this new phase of life, keep up the good habits so that as you continue to see us, that we don't have to talk about cavities.
So you really do, that does happen?
It does, yeah, it does happen, yeah. Those college years can sometimes take a little bit of a toll on some people's teeth.
Okay, so the bottom line is try to eat healthy, all right? brush as often as you can, at a minimum of 2 times a day. If you can brush 3 times a day, that's good. Can you brush too much? Can you brush so much that you're starting to brush the enamel off your teeth? Is that a problem ever?
Well, you can brush too hard. Yes, definitely.
You can brush too hard.
Yes.
But you can't brush too much.
No.
Okay. What about using the water pick versus flossing? Can you do one or the other?
Well, they say that nothing quite replaces flossing because
Even the water pick?
well, you're still trying to get the bacteria that's in between the contacts of the teeth. And water picks tend to just get the area underneath that contact or above it. But I would also say if you're not going to floss and you're going to water pick, then that's better than nothing.
Nothing at all.
Yes.
But nothing beats flossing. Just the good old-fashioned flossing.
If you're doing it correctly, yes.
Okay. The other question I have, there are toothbrushes out now that say they both brush and floss at the same time. Is that as good as doing the flossing itself? Those toothbrushes? They're the electric toothbrushes.
I haven't seen research on it.
Yeah, I haven't
so I'm
seen
not
the
sure.
studies on it, but
you know what I'm talking
I do,
about.
yeah, they have a built-in water flosser in them, and they call it a water flosser instead of the water pick because it's not quite as powerful as the water pick.
And they're
is
quite
my
expensive,
understanding.
too.
Yes, and they
Because I looked because when I saw the ad on television, I thought, wow, this is a good deal. This is something good. It's flossing and it's brushing all at the same time.
And what that's really doing is it's using that water pressure to kind of displace and dispel all the food and things build up that could be between the teeth. But like Dr. Abe was saying, when you floss, you're taking that floss through where the teeth touch and that contact. And so anything that's right there where the teeth are touching, that floss gets in there.
You're breaking it up.
Break that up as well. And so it all goes back to all of that in conjunction and combined together will help make the gum stronger and healthier. So one doesn't necessarily replace the other. They work in concert.
Okay. You know, we talk about all these different things, and you may say, oh, I don't really need to be concerned about that. If you get a toothache or if a cavity falls out and you start getting this terrible ache in your mouth, you say, I wish I would have done something a little bit earlier. All right, so the important thing is just practice preventive maintenance on your mouth. Brush regularly, floss, water pick, watch your diet. And you were saying that if you can't brush at lunchtime, sometimes just putting water in your mouth and squishing it around will break up some of that bacteria.
Yeah, and it'll rinse the sugars off the teeth. It's just a good kind of helps the mouth reestablish the pH balance it needs to be at.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you both for coming by today and talking with us and opening our eyes up to good dental health. All right, if you want more information, how do they get in touch with you?
Our phone number is 573-875-7071 or www.columbiahealthysmiles.com.
Got it. Thank you so much for coming by. Pleasure having you here. And stay healthy.
Thank you.
All right. We're out of time. Something you'd like to hear or see, I'd love to hear from you. Drop me an email at pepperpmissouri.edu. Bye-bye.